Dolly Buster was born Nora Bomberger on October 23, 1969, in Prague, the capital of what was then Czechoslovakia. She grew up in a world marked by political tension, where artistic freedom was constrained and opportunities were limited. From an early age, Nora exhibited a strong sense of independence and an unusual boldness that set her apart from her peers. Her childhood, while not extravagant, was steeped in a mix of cultural curiosity and the pragmatism required by life under a restrictive regime. Her early years were defined by a fascination with the arts and an unshakable desire to explore life beyond the confines of her home city. Prague's rich artistic traditions, its music, theater, and literature, would leave an indelible mark on her creative spirit. Yet, the political realities of Eastern Europe meant that her ambitions would require leaving home. As a young adult, she made the life-changing decision to move to Germany, seeking freedom, opportunity, and a stage upon which to reinvent herself. Breaking into fame, crafting Dolly Buster. Once in Germany, Nora adopted the name Dolly Buster, a moniker designed to capture attention and evoke a larger-than-life persona. It was in the late 1980s and early 1990s that she began making her mark. Possessing striking looks, charisma, and a flair for performance, she quickly became one of Europe's most recognizable personalities. Dolly's rise was not just about appearances. It was also about understanding the emerging European entertainment landscape. She tapped into a growing appetite for bold, confident performers who could dominate both screen and media coverage. Her performances, while initially controversial, positioned her as a daring figure unafraid of societal judgment, a reputation she would carry throughout her career. She embodied a paradox, at once provocative and intelligent, playful yet shrewd. Her carefully crafted image made her a star, but it was her personal drive and business acumen that ensured she would not be a fleeting figure. Building a brand, business, creativity, and literature. While many contemporaries remained performers, Dolly Buster displayed an instinct for business and personal branding. She expanded into production and entrepreneurship, establishing projects under her name and exerting control over her image and work. She was not content to simply appear on screen. She wanted ownership behind the scenes, from film production to marketing. In addition, Dolly revealed a creative versatility that surprised many. She authored novels, particularly in the crime genre, showcasing a narrative skill and imagination that few expected. Through writing, she created an alternative persona, one that was analytical, observant, and deeply reflective. Her books allowed her to engage audiences in a way that went beyond visual performance, emphasizing intellect and storytelling ability. Mainstream media stardom, television, and pop culture. By the mid-1990s and into the 2000s, Dolly Buster had successfully crossed over into mainstream German media. She became a fixture on television, appearing in talk shows, reality programs, and comedic sketches. Her charm and ability to navigate controversy with humor made her appealing to a wide audience. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Dolly had a knack for self-awareness. She could poke fun at herself and at public perceptions, turning potential criticism into entertainment. This skill cemented her place in European pop culture as more than just a performer. She was now a recognizable personality capable of commanding attention outside her original niche. Political ambitions. Stepping into the public arena. In a move that surprised many, Dolly Buster entered the political arena in 2004, running for the European Parliament in the Czech Republic. While her campaign ultimately did not result in election, it reflected her willingness to defy societal expectations and engage in serious civic matters. Her candidacy sparked discussion about celebrity influence in politics and the boundaries between public fascination and political credibility. Dolly's boldness in pursuing such a path only reinforced her image as a fearless risk-taker, unafraid to challenge conventions at every stage of her life. Later life, reinvention and reflection. As the 2010s progressed, Dolly gradually stepped back from the public spotlight. She focused on more private creative endeavors, including writing, painting, and personal projects, allowing her to explore parts of her identity that were previously overshadowed by fame. Despite reducing her media appearances, she remained a figure of fascination. Interviews, public retrospectives, and occasional television specials ensured that her legacy endured. She had become more than a performer. She was now a cultural icon whose life story inspired discussion and analysis across Europe. Legacy and cultural impact. Dolly Buster's life illustrates the power of reinvention and resilience. Beginning in a restrictive Eastern European society, she emerged as a European icon whose influence spanned entertainment, literature, business, and even politics. She challenged stereotypes, demonstrating that a public persona could be both glamorous and intellectually ambitious. Her career highlights the fluidity of identity in modern Europe, where one can navigate multiple spheres: performance, creativity, media, and civic engagement, and leave a lasting imprint. Today, Dolly Buster is remembered not only for her early fame, but for her intelligence, business savvy, and willingness to break boundaries. Her story is one of transformation, courage, and the constant pursuit of new challenges, a narrative that continues to captivate and inspire.